This video has been funded in part by the Guild via Patreon. Check out the links in the description or at the end of this video for more details. Game provided by Occupara Games. Hello everyone, my name is Gildart, and welcome back to another Pros vs. Cons mini-review. I've been waiting patiently for this game to release, and it's finally out now on PC, Mac, and even Switch. Spinch is a psychedelic platformer with mechanics that lend itself pretty nicely to speedrunning. Think Super Meat Boy, but with enough drops of acid to make even a hippie go, "Whoa man, I think you've had enough." If Spinch sounds familiar to you, I did a bit of a preview back in 2018 where I got to go down to the developer's studio and playtest an early build of the game. It was such a great experience that I've been patiently waiting to finally get my hands on a completed version of the game. But the question remains, does Spinch live up to the 2-year hype I've personally built up? Well, we're about to find out. Ready, set,
Pros.
First things first, let me address the elephant in the room. I know the question on all of your minds. How the frig is this game so colorful? I know, right? You probably didn't even think this many colors could exist in a game. Spinch knocks it out of the park with its visuals. This game may not have incredibly detailed 3D graphics, but it has a charm to it that is just undeniable. Filling the world to the brim with color makes every stage, world, and enemy stand out. Then you have Spinch, who is just a white blob with arms and legs and the biggest smile you could put on him. I would kill for a plushie of Spinch. He is so cute. I must protect him with my life. The controls in this game are also extremely tight. You don't have much in your arsenal to work with, but it lends itself really well to the gameplay. You can run, jump, and dash. That is it. But that's all you need. This is one of those easy to learn, hard to master games. And the most important thing is that it lends itself really well to speedrunning. As you might be able to tell from some of my times, I'm not that good at speedrunning. But that doesn't mean I'm not having a fun time trying to get through these levels as quickly as possible. You may notice me grabbing these cubes as well. Once you've collected 50 of them, you instantly become invincible for a short period of time, making it so you can't save your invincibility, because if you forget that you're getting close to that 50, you may activate your invincibility too soon. In every stage, there are 3 Spinch babies you need to find and save. Don't worry though, if you miss one, you can always go back and grab them. There are also stages where you can find your pink cousin, which will unlock a bonus stage. If you're successful in the bonus stage, you will get a bomb to use against the boss. Collecting the Spinch babies will also help you against the bosses, as they are used as ammunition along with the bombs to deal damage to these bosses. The overall feel of this game is like the simple controls of Mario, the speed of Sonic, and the difficulty of Meat Boy. Speaking of difficulty, this game is relentless. You have to either be perfect or lucky in some parts of these stages. And you can probably tell for the most part, for me, it's just luck. I'm not the greatest at this game, but the fact that I can't stop playing it has to mean something. I like that Spinch not only has a variety of inspirations, but a variety of levels. In every world, you'll have a fairly straightforward stage, a longer and complex stage, one where things are chasing you throughout the stage, and one where there is a floating enemy that will drop bombs and you have to find shelter before the bomb drops. This helps to keep things mixed and fresh while you play through the game. I also feel the music needs to be mentioned. You can go and buy this soundtrack right now on Steam or Bandcamp, and I highly recommend it. It's just too good not to sit there and jam to it. There are a few times where I had to wait for the perfect moment to jump, and I didn't mind just chilling there and vibing to the music. But that's all I have for the pros so far. Now it's time for the wrath of the cons! Even though I've been looking forward to playing this game for the last forever, there are still a few small details that I wish were more ironed out. First off, one of the things I noticed is that some of the placement of enemies kind of feels cheap. There's one stage in the third world where I kept dying and coming back to a checkpoint. Now that in and of itself wasn't bad, but where it respawned you, there was a fish-like creature swimming across the screen. If you respawned at just the right point, you were guaranteed to be hit. I mentioned in the pros that you either need to be perfect or lucky, and luck just wasn't on my side a lot of the times for when a jump opened up and an enemy was in my way. The perfect time to jump takes a lot of trial and error sometimes, but when you mix in moving platforms, environmental one-shots, and specific enemy placement, it can create a frustrating time. There was 1 or 2 times where I just had to put Spinch down because I was starting to get angry. The difficulty curve is pretty sharp after the first world. Like, the first world was such a breeze for me. I may have died a couple of times, but I knew they were solely my fault. But once I started World 2, that's where I noticed a lot of these placement issues. I also noticed a couple of glitches. Nothing game-breaking, Actually, these tended to work in my advantage. There are some areas where enemies will start to chase you once you've run past them, but the ones that start with a vertical path can be cheesed a bit. If you dash right at the top of the column where they're chasing you through, they will reset to their beginning position. This is handy if they are also going to chase you further once you start running horizontally. Another is during a stage where the floating enemy drops bombs. If you respawn at a checkpoint and die within the first few seconds, it will actually delay the next bomb. There is a music cue that tells you when the next bomb is going to be dropped, and it seems like when you die, the game doesn't realize that it needs to restart that music track, so it still needs to play through the song before restarting again. But once it hits that musical cue for the bomb, it won't actually drop. I didn't really use this last one too much because I found the next safe house after a checkpoint was always super easy to get to. Finally, the last thing I'll mention is probably something only on the Switch version. I'm not too sure as I haven't picked up the PC version yet, but I am planning on it. Since I'm using a gamepad, I want to use it like any normal gamepad. You know, A selects, B cancels. The game doesn't do that. Every face button accepts. So if you want to back out of a menu, you have to go down to the option to do so. This also happens in the stage select. I wanted to go back to the main menu and look at some of the options and in-game achievements I had unlocked. So I hit B, and it started the stage instead of taking me out of the game. So I thought, oh, maybe there's a menu while in the stage select. So I hit the plus button, and this took me directly to the main menu. I know this is pretty nitpicky, but I thought the plus button would bring up an options menu to adjust volumes and stuff, have an option for the in-game achievements, as well as the option to go back to the main menu. It's a very small thing, but it adds a few extra steps for the player to access the options or in-game achievements. After all is said and done, Spinch gave me a wonderful time that I will not soon forget. My hype for this game was well placed. It's just solid fun through and through. And even though it had me saying a few things that were not so advertiser friendly, I understood that this was the type of game that I had to learn the patterns and just take it slow. Once I got used to the stage layout, I could start going for that faster time on it. There were a few things that I mentioned in the cons, but for the most part, these are easily patchable, and I know that the dev team are working hard on ironing out the details post-launch. So in the end, Spinch gets a thumbs up from me. I can't put this game down. Both Chelsea and I have it on the Switch right now, and I am planning on getting the PC version soon. If they port this to PS4 or Xbox, you know I'm grabbing those versions. You can also pick up a limited edition physical version for PC through a Kickstarter that ends on September 11th. I'll link for it down below in case you are interested in picking that up. I am so glad I got to experience the development of Spinch over the last couple of years. It's come a long way from what I played 2 years ago, and I can't thank Queen Bee and Occupara Games enough for the opportunity to bring this game to you all. I seriously hope you will check this game out. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for watching my mini review on Spinch. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and comment with your thoughts below. I don't often ask this, but please share this video around. I really want to see Spinch be successful, and I'm hoping this video helps with that. Seriously, everyone, when I say you have to check this game out, I mean it. If you pick it up, let me know what you think, and if you were able to get a decent time on any of the stages. I'm not that good at speedrunning, but I do find it interesting. If you want to help support the channel and what I do here, you can join the Guild via Patreon, like these awesome people that you're seeing on screen right now. You can join them at the end of every single video for just $1 a month. There's other rewards and other tiers as well, so check out the links that you see on screen, and I will see you all down in the comments.